I got the emails. You got the emails. I got the emails. You got the emails. All right, Compy, let's answer some emails here. Let's see, what do we have? Mr. Maple. It's Dr. Maples. I made a video. It's on my page. Mr. Maple, I can't make the test this week. In your social class, I'm in Acapulco. Mike. From phone. Mike. Who is Mike? Do I have a mic? What class? Did I forget a test this week? Oh, I want to go to Acapulco. Dr. Maples wants to go to Acapulco. Most every week, I get an email from a student that just leaves me scratching my head. They use a non-university email, so I have no idea who they are. They don't reference what class they're talking about. I end up having to write them back just to ask more questions so that I can actually answer their question. I know for a fact that most professors ignore these emails. They delete them and they don't respond to them. And to be honest, that's a problem. In fact, it makes me think that maybe you and I need to sit down and have a quick chat about exactly how to email your professor so that they actually write you back, and also so that they can accurately answer your question. We got a lot to talk about today, so let's get started. So today, I want to give you 5 tips on making sure that you send emails that your professors are going to respond to in a timely manner, and that your emails don't get lost in the bottom of an inbox. First things first, I have seen a recent trend that my students are sending emails that look more like texts. Now, I personally like this. This means that your emails are getting shorter overall. However, in getting shorter, we're also seeing a couple of other problems pop up. Emojis, funny autocorrects, abbreviations that faculty don't understand are all creating a situation where a professor might just delete your email rather than respond to it. So here's a couple of tips on this. Now, A, go ahead and drop the emojis and the abbreviations. I personally love it when my students tell me Dr. Maples is the GOAT, and hey, if you want to leave that in the comments below, I wouldn't be sad about that either. But your professors may not understand that. They may be from a different generation altogether that doesn't even use abbreviations and emojis. So I suggest leaving those out. Before you send the email, take a moment and proof it. Autocorrect can make for some really funny and very awkward situations with your professors. I want you to make sure you take a moment, put all the facts together that you need into one email rather than sending me a series of one-line emails. I've recently had some students that do that they send me multiple emails with no subjects because they're basically sending them like a text conversation. So think about it for a moment, put all your ideas together in one email, and then send that email rather than sending a bunch of smaller ones. If you're going to send a really long text email, I suggest you just sit down at a computer. The chance for you to screw something up with an autocorrect or going through and accidentally sending it while you're trying to write it out with your thumbs, it's just too high. I think that's where you sit down at a keyboard and type that one out. Number 2, could you humor me and actually include your name, your university ID, the class that you're in and that you're asking about, and maybe, I don't know, use your university email address? If you do those 4 things anywhere in your email here, I'm going to know A, who you are, B, the class that you're probably asking about, and C, if it's an advising question, you're going to give me that university ID that I'm going to need to pull you up in the system. The great thing is by providing this information up front, I'm probably going to be able to answer your question 100% of the time. I do want to take a moment and point out an issue with dead names. A lot of universities are not allowing students to change their dead names in the system, or the students are not in a situation that they're able to do that just yet. As such, if you have an issue with a dead name being used in the university system and you want me to call you something else, I'm happy to do that. All you got to do is let me know. Likewise, if you prefer different pronouns, all you have to do is let me know. I'm supportive and happy to do that. If you have questions about that or you'd like me to make a video on that, leave me a comment below and I can do that just for you. All right, let's move on to number 3, and this is one that I was guilty of as an undergraduate. Don't write your professors a book in your email. I've got a hard and fast rule about this. If I'm writing out an email and it gets over 15 or 16 sentences, it's in the range that I probably should just delete that email, go find this person and have a conversation with them in their office, or set up some kind of Zoom meeting so that we can talk through this issue. Same thing goes for students. If you're about to send me a book that looks like a novella, there's probably more information in there than I need, or this is a serious issue that requires a longer conversation. As such, if you're writing a long email and there's a lot of stuff happening, just set up a Zoom meeting with your professor or with me, or come by on office hours. That's what office hours is for, and your professors will be happy to help you on that. Number 4, give me time. Now, for me, I usually respond to emails as well as YouTube comments within 24 hours unless I'm just away from the office for a few days. What I suggest, however, is to give faculty 5 working days. Now, fair warning, some universities say that professors have up to 2 weeks to respond to your emails. In my opinion, by 2 weeks, your email has been buried under several hundred other emails and they're never going to get to it. If you give a professor 5 days, that's giving them a fair amount of time, but also giving them a short enough timeline that you can actually get a response. On top of that, if you have something that's time sensitive, it's fine to send them an email, but then figure out where their office hours are and go meet them or set up a Zoom meeting with them so that you can deal with that more immediately. Number 5, before you send that email, will you just humor me and glance at the syllabus and maybe see if it has the answer to your question? I know you didn't want to hear the S word, but the syllabus is designed to have all the answers to the class 95% of the time. Look at that syllabus because I bet 95% of the time it's going to answer the question that you have. And again, if it didn't answer your question, you send it to me and I'm going to make sure that you get the information that you need. All right, that's 5 tips that I have for you to make sure that you send emails that your professors are going to respond to. I promise if you stick to these 5 things, you're not going to have issues with professors not writing you back. I hope you'll like and subscribe to this channel. And hey, if you like this video, could you share it on social media? Because that sure helps me out. That's all for today, folks. I will see you next time. Take care. I should probably write Mike back. I want to go to Acapulco. Dr. Maples wants to go to Acapulco.